What's up, y'all? This is episode 52 of the People's Podcast. Today's episode is going to be about Palestine and why people kill. And then also, we're going to add a segment called True Story Tuesdays. And that's going to be interesting. Um, right now, I want to kick it off. Is anybody familiar with the history of Palestine?
From what I understand, how that even started, I believe it was the Second World War, and it was a deal brokered with England and America for America's involvement in the war, and the land that the so-called Jews got over there, in the Palestinian area, what's now Israel, was a part of that deal that they brokered, between England and America. And the Palestinian, that's their land. They're indigenous, just like how they did the natives here. That's basically what's going on over there.
And you're absolutely correct from my knowledge.
Yeah, I haven't been watching the news lately.
Well,
I really don't know what's going on with Biden, and I just kind of every once in a while I got to unplug from the worldly news. You know what I'm saying?
It's major, especially if you know any Palestinians or anything like that.
Yeah. It's major, but it's been major. I've been into it.
Off and on. May 21st, they started a ceasefire. It's been little spats here and there, this and that, but what I'm to my understanding is like it's a lot of violence going on, and Biden, well, actually Trump had tried to broker a deal called the deal of the century, which they rejected because it was one-sided. So, and it's hard. It's going to be definitely hard to stop everything, because there's people that feel like they're native to there, they belong there, and there's other people that feel like they can't come over here because they're gonna be like wipe us out or something like that. Like,
yeah.
But the violence, though, is I think a lot of the violence goes against the Geneva Convention and rules of war. When I see more and more children get murdered and stuff like that, I was waiting on a guest to be here that's actually Palestinian, which they might chime in, but we'll see. But anybody have any ideas of what do you think? Like maybe what would change their outlook on what?
Well,
it's the age. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I was just what you said brought to mind what I heard a wise man once said. He said, "Brother, we don't need to escalate. War is not the answer. Only love can conquer hate." You know what I'm saying? Wise man once said that.
Yeah.
You got to take it back to the basics.
Yeah. All right.
We've moved so far away from what we're supposed to be as beings on this planet. And everything that we're seeing is just a result of that. And the violence and the conflict comes from everything being out of balance, and the people, and it's just trying to get back to being balanced. That's all it is. So, war and conflict and violence is inevitable when people are oppressed or mistreated, or that's what's gonna happen. I mean, even if people are passive, you can only be stepped on for so long before you had enough, and that's what we're seeing around the whole world.
And then when everything erupts, everybody's wondering what's happening.
What's happening? I mean, this has been. I mean, people have been talking about it. It's been written about for ages. It's inevitable, man. And things have been wrong for way before our life, our parents' lifetime, all that. Things have been out of balance and wrong for so long, and everything is just coming to a boil. That's all. We're just witnessing, and this is what's necessary for things to get back into balance. We're gonna have to see bloodshed. We're gonna have to see unrest and conflict before it gets back to where it's supposed to be.
I absolutely agree. And then that goes with a next topic I'm going to end up eventually touching. Um, Rick, can you hear us?
Yeah, I hear you.
All right, what's your idea about Palestine? What's going on over there and everything?
Shit, to be honest, I don't really know what's going on over there. I know they've been at war, but shit, they done been at war since forever. So, from a biblical standpoint, when it's actually some type of peace going on over there, that's when I would be worried about it. But more of the same, I could care less about, to be honest. I mean, it ain't no disrespect to the people over there because it's a lot of innocent lives being lost, bloodshed on both sides. So, you know what I'm saying?
Hey,
It's some
but
sad.
them people over there, them are people too. They indigenous. They indigenous to that place,
I
and
mean,
they
well, it
know,
depends on
and
it
they
depends
and they
on
know,
what
and
people you talk about.
they know that they ain't the real so-called Jews over there either.
Because well, the Jewish ain't indigenous to that land, so
That's
technically
what
they
I'm
can't
saying.
go.
Right. They know that they ain't the people they claim to be. The
All right, and
Palestinians over there know that.
just to mention something Ricky said, like yeah, in Revelations it said wars and rumors of wars. Um, and when you don't, when there's peace everywhere or in that and across the world, when there's just total peace, that's
Especially
when
over
we should
there. When
start.
there's peace over there, that's a key
Well,
marker that
because Jerusalem, I mean, of course,
some
Israel.
people argue that that's not even a holy land anyway. Some people say that
That's what I
Jerusalem is
heard.
not in that area. Some people would say that it's, I mean, technically, people consider that Northeast Africa, but on a technical standpoint, a lot of people say that that's not Jerusalem. Jerusalem actually more deeper into Africa than that. I mean, so I've
Yeah,
heard people say more along the coastline, like Ethiopia, Somalia area. You know what I'm
yeah.
saying? I done heard a bunch of shit,
Them are
but I mean,
the original people.
it's hard. You got to use discernment and try to cipher through that. But one thing I do know
Mhm.
is that we've claimed that now. That's what history of society didn't claim that shit to be, right? That's the Middle East, and that's where the Holy Land is. Now, that's what we know. We can't even necessarily know that's fact, but that's what we claiming right now. So if I
Ain't
was,
no
like
such
you
thing
said, in
as the Middle
Revelation,
East.
right?
In reality,
Exactly.
in reality, ain't no such thing as Middle East. That's some shit they made up. That
But
ain't
when
no.
you
It ain't no
come
Middle
down
East.
to,
And
like
actually,
you said,
there's
world
no
peace
such thing as
or
Arab.
peace over there, we should be concerned. What you say, Dave?
No, I'm saying in actuality, there's no such thing as Arabs. They were just dwellers. They never had land or a country. The people in
Nomad.
Palestine are the ancestor. I mean, the children of the people who conquered Palestine over there.
The children
And
of the ancestors. Yeah.
yeah, it's like it's like them people are not native of that country. It was just the people that conquered that area back then. And then you
They
got
didn't even conquer. They didn't even conquer. They was given to them by America and England because of America's involvement.
no, I'm not talking
So,
about the Jews. I'm talking about the Palestinians and how they got
oh,
over
okay,
there.
got you. Okay, yeah.
Yeah, the Jews, yeah, they got given that shit by all that false
Mm,
flag shit. But
all right. So, what do y'all think about the Hamas and Gaza Strip?
I never tried hummus, man. I heard it's good with
It's spelled the
I'm just
same.
playing.
You check. Oh. Okay, sorry.
My bad, man. My bad. No, I ain't like I said, I ain't been up on the news, so I can't really speak on current events as far as that because I don't know. But brother, I had to add some little comedy relief in
Yeah.
there.
A guest that I was supposed to be on, they haven't made it in yet. So I'm gonna move to another subject, another topic.
oh,
Why are people killed? Now,
Why people killed?
they brought up a good comment about monkeys, but we're the only race that kills out of sport. You know what I'm saying?
The
Like
only
not for a
race
need to
that
eat.
killed.
That's a reason. Self-defense is a reason, but just for sport, for no reason.
it really goes
Crimes,
with doing
crimes
that.
of passion, crimes of passion. There's so many. I mean, that can go on forever, man. I mean, like people kill out of anger. People kill out of
Jealousy.
jealousy, pain. It all comes down to hurt, to pain. You know
Fear
what I'm saying? Fear. Yep.
behind all the death.
Survival.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Hey,
People kill shit. People kill to eat. You know what I'm saying?
What
It's
about
just all that.
Yeah. I mean, well, just saying killing in general is considered something that's bad, but that ain't necessarily make it so. because I mean, shit, if people didn't kill, like you said, you kill to eat.
Yeah.
I mean, most people not vegans and vegetarians. So if you ain't slaughtering chickens and cows and whatever the
Right.
fuck else,
Somebody is. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Or kind of like that. It all kind of points to the whole build and destroy concept too. You know what I'm saying? And in order to grow, sometimes you got to kill things. You know, you gotta kill things so you can start all over and build. You know, or we just
Destroy.
specifically talking about
taking
like?
a
Are we
life.
talking about murder? We talking about murder?
Well, taking a life, because murder would be some type of crime, as in a sense, but like different reasons. Yeah, we was on board like eat, self-defense, afraid, like stuff, things like that. And brave.
that shit
I'm sorry,
crazy.
say what?
Mhm.
And Dave brought up a good point. And then someone brought to my attention about monkeys and killer whales.
Oh yeah. They kill for fun. The whales kill for fun.
And Dave is the type of person that be laughing when they flap a seal 100 feet in the air from out to sea and shit, watch their little body and shit just flapping.
Like they take
Do it over and over again, and I can see her like smoking and laughing like a motherfucker.
So you saying whales are psychopaths? Is that what you saying?
Killer whales. You gotta watch the video. You're gonna laugh too. I'm sorry.
They say they kill for entertainment.
Entertainment. Are you
Yeah,
not
there's
entertained?
There's humans that do that too.
It's a Bible verse. It's a Bible verse, and I wish I knew I could say the scripture in the book and the chapter right now. But it was like, the Most High make good and bad for His entertainment.
Mm.
You ever heard of Heaven's movie?
He had to. The shit be getting better.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he was. You could tell he was bored when he made us.
He had to be.
Some of us, I will say. Let me see what this shit gonna do.
He was on one when he made me. You know? He was on one. Yeah. Who was that? That comedian Eddie Griffin. He was talking about, hey, God up there talking, hey, Jesus, come in, hey, watch this little nigga I made. Come here, he on stage again. Come watch, he cracking me up.
And you know what? I believe God has a sense of humor since we were made in His image.
And you know what? You know what? Proof. One of the proofs they got a sense of humor is look at the platypus.
Exactly. And he has a sense of humor, but can be serious in a minute because you know one fact about the platypus?
The Tyrannosaurus Rex, if that was real, that's the fucked up. That they fucked him up.
I don't think the Most High had
them little ass arms, right?
Platypus, a T-Rex come home from work after a long day of being rejected.
He can't wipe his ass.
He can't wash his hands. You know,
he can't do nothing other than nether regions. Like, oh.
And look on the dinosaurs too. Like how they know they sounded like that. You know, in the movies and stuff, they be having the dinosaurs. You know how they know. You know how you know
they lizard
sound like birds.
They probably didn't. They reptiles. They probably didn't
make no noise. You know. Well, some of them they say that are related to birds too.
So what if they made bird noises? That'll freak you out, wouldn't it?
Bird versus dinosaurs.
Yeah, they say the birds are more closely connected to them than the reptile. They speculating off of the bone. They speculating off of the bones and there ain't no way they can really.
How do they know they had skin or scales? It could have been fur.
Well, they got ways to figure that out. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, some of them could have fur. Some of them did have fur, like the woolly mammoth had hair.
And they've been cloning this thing for years and never produced one.
Don't believe that dinosaur shit. Them things they did not exist.
They got some big ass bones. It was something. I'm not saying they
could have been giants. It could have been the Nephilim or whatever they call.
The Nephilim, the giants.
Not with no tails and you know what I'm saying. No tails.
They doing now. They was doing back then. They was experimenting with DNA, whether that be human DNA, animal DNA.
Mm-hmm.
That I believe. It was some freaks of nature. I believe it was mermaids, unicorn, all that shit, you know. But dinosaurs, I can't. I
believe it was dinosaurs. Not necessarily how the picture that they painted. But no, they were definitely.
My dream was to be a paleontologist. So
They-
I filled all this stuff in my head as coming up. Rick, stop.
on the History
Look,
Channel.
I filled all this stuff in my head growing up, and for y'all to kill my dream like this, I think not. I still remember all the dinosaur names and everything.
No, they got teeth and bones and all. They got enough evidence and stuff to know it was something. But I mean, like as far as these names, that's all. They give them these names, and you know what I'm saying.
They made up a lot of that shit for the Darwin, to fit in Darwin's theories and shit too. And then it was an episode on the History Channel where they were talking about them people back in the 1800s and all that shit, forging them bones and making fake bones, and how there's no real dinosaur bones. It's just clay structures of it or casts.
Oh wow!
What about the teeth though? The teeth can tell you pretty much what's a meat eater and what's a plant eater.
And plus, you can carbon date it too.
You carbon date it. It's like a tree. You cut it open, and then it's like the rings or whatever. It tells how old it is. But generally, if an animal was a meat eater, they had sharper teeth, and if they were a plant eater, their teeth were more flatter.
Right. Yeah. There's science is good, man. Science is developed.
We're not supposed to eat meat though, because we don't really have sharp teeth.
Right.
Well, we have canines.
Some people canines don't have no points on them like that though.
Yeah. Well, I'm supposed to have.
I need health insurance, so that's my reason.
I don't think I was supposed to be no vegetarian.
Yeah.
I know it's healthier, but them chicken wings and steak.
I can see Ray at a dig in Egypt, eating a chicken bone and throwing it in a hole they excavating and shit. Like, what is this? It is the wingding. The wingding is not indigenous to
prehistoric,
Egypt.
The prehistoric buffalo wing.
BW3.
Right.
I think, man, there's so much information out here. So anytime somebody says something, it's always going to be opposition, some pushback, and some motherfuckers going to try to disprove that.
But that's the beauty of science.
Absolutely.
That's the process of it. It has to be tested against other theories, and that's how we develop into from theories into scientific facts. Because it's been you got to bounce them against them opposing theories in order for you to prove.
A good point is I would prefer for people to go to Google or pick up an actual book.
Google ain't always.
That's what I'm saying. I'm saying or pick up an actual book or something, because YouTube is not always correct.
And neither are all the books. You know what I'm saying? I can write a book.
Compromise.
Yeah. I can write a book, and that's based on my perception and my limited knowledge. And, people can take that as the gospel truth. You know what I mean? But, I mean, the books are more accurate, though.
One thing you're going to find out that's accurate is everything is a theory. Somebody else's theory. None of this shit been proven.
Well, I don't know. I mean, there's some shit that's been proven, but
you can't prove gravity.
Yeah.
There's no
machine.
They can't.
There's no machine to measure gravity. There's no machine that is gravity.
You can't prove gravity. It don't need a machine. That's a law. That's a universal law. Gravity is a universal law.
That is a motherfucker made up, man. That shit is still technically theory. That's just like we got day and night, and we have a whole system of time based off of a theory because the sun and the moon,
day and night. That's Time is relative. Time is a construct.
The same thing as gravity.
If
you think about, like, say we got gravity, we are spinning Earth, right? The Earth spins on its axis. We are a sphere that's spinning around. And the gravity is what's keeping us all on here. Because if you think about it, we at one point on the Earth, and then it's like we up here. It's people that's up here, but there's also people that's down here too. And they stay on that globe or that spinning sphere. Gravity keeps us connected to the Earth, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Then come on, man. That makes sense.
I mean, what would be the alternative?
The world is spinning so fast. It's spinning so fast that centrifugal force, the people all sucked in. At the same time that it's spinning, whichever way it's spinning on its axis, is also going around the sun, right?
Why it ain't one breeze? If we spinning one way, why it ain't one breeze? And why we can't hover in a helicopter for a
you
few
gotta
hours?
realize.
Well,
I
ain't
mean,
no question
This,
why
you
this
gotta
is
realize the
this is gonna
size.
take too long.
on
This
the
is gonna
other
take
side of
too
the world
long.
for
This is gonna take too long
Look at the
because
size of the Earth, though. I mean, y'all only putting just a very few
I don't
variables
think
where
it's as
there's
big as
so
it
many
is, man.
variables to that. There's so
and
many
then
variables.
latitude, longitude,
There, you
stuff
guys
like
are
it's
only
tilted
focusing.
and
You're
24.
focused on the minute variables of that equation. You
There's
know
a
what I'm
bunch
saying?
of
There's so
Well,
many. Not
technically,
to say that those variables aren't there, but I'm just saying you can't base the whole picture off of just them
No,
few of
it ain't
those.
just that. Them are just variables we can explain right now. It's a shitload of evidence that proves otherwise. There has even been scientists that got proven, but the mainstream gonna go with the mainstream and whatever they're pushing at the time, that's what they're gonna push, regardless on who go against it. They're gonna make it look stupid to everybody if they're going against it to propagate their shit.
I got a question for
You
y'all.
can't even
Though.
really say. Go ahead.
Can y'all agree that the sun, the Earth rotates in a 24-hour fully?
No.
I believe
So what would you say? It doesn't rotate, or would you say it's more than 24 or less than 24 hours?
I span.
What's that?
Yeah. It's a time span that we're going. I believe the Earth is a flat plane. Now more like a snow globe kind of effect. That's my
I was
personal.
about to say you think it's in a dome.
What's in
I
the
mean, like,
dome is
me
round.
personally,
The sky moves.
I have no way. I don't believe it's flat or. But the thing is, though, you know, there was a time where most people that thought it was round or a sphere was looked at as crazy. You know what I'm saying? The majority of people thought that, you know, believed that it was flat. You know what I mean? And then, you know, scientists and different people like, wait a minute, no, this is a sphere, you know. And not only that, I think if you go back far enough, I believe, you know, that it's kind of arrogant to think that we the only intelligent beings in this vast universe. So I think some of the stuff that you know, some of the information that we came across in the past came from outside of this realm. You know what I'm saying? There's a lot of evidence that points to that too. You know, because there's
a spiritual realm.
Yeah, well, actually, not only spiritual. I'm talking
if you
about
get past
actually.
the ice walls, there's other land, there's other suns, there's other moons, there's other expansions. It's
Absolutely,
like
there's all of that. Yeah.
It just goes out. It doesn't go up in space. Space is going outwards instead of you thinking you're going up there with them stars or whatever they call them, because they say it's water. In the Bible, it says we're under a firmament, and God divided the waters, and it was, as above, so below. You know what I'm saying? And that's the kind, like, when we looking up in the sky, why is the sky blue? It's water up there, they're saying.
Well, no, it's that's a reflection. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
What we're seeing is a reflection. You know what I'm saying of the water. You know, just like how the water reflects the sky. You know what I'm saying?
But they were saying it could be the other way around. It could just be what we're looking at is water up there, and why is it blue? You know, like.
Well, no, but when you travel in a plane, then you don't see water up there unless it's raining. I mean, you just see blue sky. You know what I mean? It's not.
I mean, we actually breathe a form of water. Like, we're born in the water. It's some with the water. It's some with the water. That's all I can say. It's linked. They talk about it in the Bible. I know we're born in water.
We're like I think 75% water in it.
Oxygen is a form of thin water, like the clouds is a form of water.
But the planet is like that too. Whatever, like the planet is
the same percentage. Water. Yep, the same percentage. Our body, as a matter of fact, all the elements that make up the Earth. Yeah,
kind of makes sense.
We the same percentage. We got the same percentage of water. Like it has, like as far as the land mass and ocean, you know, the same percentage of water to land mass. We're the same percentage of water to, you know, physical mass. You know, so and we have all the iron and all the different elements in the earth we are found in our system as well too, you know. So we definitely connected to this thing. I believe the earth is a living being.
Yes.
I know, you know what I mean? And we just kind of like parasites on this mug, you know, like or what, you know, like
us, not the humans.
Yeah. the colored
Yeah.
the colored
ones that were designed to withstand the sun
and
and elements naturally.
Yeah, but this thing we standing on is definitely living. I believe.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
believe
yeah.
it's a
Ain't no
living
arguing
thing.
about
They
that.
choose instead of the free energy, they want to hurt the earth and get the shit from the earth, mine the earth.
Is that why they use the term Mother Earth?
Yeah, I mean, when you getting oil, what do you think petrol? What do you think oil is?
That's the
Earth juice.
That's the
the blood of the
dinosaurs.
earth.
That's the dinosaurs.
That's what they say. That's the dinosaurs.
They have the same compounds as our blood.
Getting up through the ground came a bubbling crew.
Right, that's dinosaur. That's
And
your
you know what
tyrant.
else,
That's
every living organism on this earth got melanin in it.
yeah.
Every
The trees, the grass, and shit.
Except for me.
Oh, you got that
Hey,
crinkle
I'm a
in
little
there. That's it
defensive
right
myself, nigga.
Hey, guys,
Hey, you got a little tension in your hair.
He put it inside my brain, inside my DNA. That's where it is. That's where it is, my brother.
Hey,
right.
You don't see it, but it's there.
I'm thinking about on the Powerpuff Girls when they show how they made how the scientists made the Powerpuff Girls and shit, and God was like a teaspoon of melanin.
Yeah,
a little bit. Salt Bay was like.
I get but a smidge in my damn self, man.
Man, but you know what? Also, I want to lead into this segment. I'm very excited about. Rick had the idea. I just renamed it, and I'm letting y'all know that first and foremost. It's called True Story Tuesdays. You know,
we only do a show on Tuesday, so that
right.
Hey, but the alliteration
it'd be a hashtag though.
Good.
If somebody hashtag it there, yeah.
It's the alliteration sounds good. You know, it sounds better when you put the Tuesday. You know what I'm saying? True Story Tuesday.
Yeah, it just has a ring to
alliteration. Yeah.
Hey, so I'm sitting outside right now, and now we gonna go back to the flat Earth shit. I can see the moon and the sun at the same time.
You ain't supposed to see that.
I've seen that.
If it's spinning on this axis and the sun is moving a certain way and the moon is traveling a certain way and we spinning around, you know what I'm saying? Because the moon circulates around the earth, right? And the earth circulates around the sun. It's supposed to come in point in times to where you do see them, and then it's supposed to be like the solar eclipses and shit, or lunar eclipse, whatever they call it.
Hey, check this out. Check this out. I think that's all positioning and perception from where your angle is. Like, if we can watch the same event, you know, we can watch the same football game, but you on the other side of the stands and I'm over here. We're watching the same thing and we're gonna see something different. So I think that's that plays a point in it. And I flew for the first time this year. I got it because I was a chicken. I ain't like planes, but I got on a plane for the first time. And
me too.
That's what's up. That's what's up. And now I'm about to be all up in the sky, man. I love it.
I love it. See a curve.
I sure in the hell did. That's what I was about to say.
You seen the curve? Window has a fisheye lens.
Because I didn't see a curve everywhere. It was just at a certain time where I opened the window. I didn't see a curve when we first got up. I didn't see a first curve when I first opened the window. But at one point in the flight,
you seen a curve in the horizon.
I seen a curve
in the horizon.
Yeah,
in the distant horizon. You seen a curve.
No, I'm talking about a curve when I look down.
I mean, you got hills. You
got
hills.
They're talking about the earth being round or flat right now.
Yeah, you got different planes of what they call it landmass and stuff, but I'm saying like the actual horizon, they're telling you if the earth is round, you will see a curve in the horizon, not the ground you're looking at, you know, like because you're gonna have hills and mountains.
Yes. No, where okay, horizon, like what you're saying, like in the horizon where what it looks like the sky meets the land. And that's earth. Right, and that's it. Look, I saw a curve.
Hey, my guest finally came in. We're gonna ask her, being Palestinian, about her thoughts on Palestine.
Oh, I got a lot of thoughts on Palestine.
And could you share with us, please?
Because
we had a discussion on our rendition, but I'm pretty sure it's not like how you feel about it.
Yeah, I personally think that. I mean, Palestine's just another country. It shouldn't be divided because of what you believe in. It shouldn't be divided because who you believe in, your skin color, where you're from, none of that. Like, it's just like America. You know what I mean? Melting pot. Just the whole world is full of different people, and people shouldn't be killed because of where they want to live. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
So, you knowing about that? I mean, they all too much show that like innocent people being killed and stuff like that. That is very senseless.
Only thing that's innocent is a baby.
Well, that's what they show. Kids, children.
Come out your way.
You good? But I mean, even if a person isn't like the best person in the world, that doesn't mean they deserve to be killed. You know what I'm saying?
Say what?
So even if someone isn't like the best person in the world, that doesn't mean they deserve to be killed.
Well, nobody deserves. Well, no, I ain't gonna say nobody.
Right. Don't say that.
Some motherfuckers deserve to die.
Yeah, let me stop.
Yeah, it's some atrocities out here that should took some bullets to the forehead. But
I had to take that back.
The problem is when the individual decides to when they feel like it's right or wrong to take.
Right.
That's when it becomes an issue.
Yeah, I agree. That's totally
true. Hairspray? Yeah, in that drawer on there. All those scrunchies.
Hey, Deborah.
What's up?
How do you feel about that? Like, how do you? I mean, I don't know if you up on that type of thing, but what's your idea about like people actually feeling like it's like Native people belonging somewhere, and someone comes in and deals with everybody else and don't take them into consideration?
The only reason I haven't said anything is because you might want to hit your disclaimer ahead of time before I even start talking.
Oh no, it's that time of the show, and this is as long as we went without it. Go ahead.
I can feel her vibe. She you in a bad mood, Deborah?
It's been a long day. Yeah, I'm in a lot of pain, but I'll be all right.
I was just pissed off before I came over here for real.
You say what?
At the end of the day, it ain't no different from white people have been doing from day fucking one.
Exactly.
Going over to other people's land, trying to take it over for whatever fucking reasons. And at the end of the day, my thing is, how you gonna go over there and have beef with the same people who come over here and we get our oil and our gas from, and the same people that you guys give hella benefits to? Because, sweetheart, I'm not trying to be funny by any means, but your guys' race can go into DHS and get more benefits, more on your bridge card than we do. You know what I'm saying? And at the end of the day, you guys are profiting more money and taking it back. And at the end of the day, I'm not mad at it, because that's white people can't stand that.
I think part of that. Hold on. I think part of that too, because I agree. But I think part of that is just us Americans, you know, who come up in low income to middle class middle class incomes. We don't have access to the information, to the programs and the different benefits that a lot of people in this country.
We do, but we abuse the fuck out of them. We abuse the fuck out of them.
True that, yeah. And also another thing is, I think what I've witnessed in some of my I use Middle Eastern, but Middle Eastern, you know, associates, what I notice that I don't see in my circles is the sharing of information. You get what I'm saying? Like, you'll have a family come over here, you know, coming from a war-torn area, and then they learn all the different stuff that they need to get established here, and then they pull their family and friend and they give them you get what I'm saying? They work together closely. We're too divided and too selfish and me and trying to get over on the next person.
Crab in the bucket.
Right.
You can't point, though. We live in a society where you really can't help people, because you would help a motherfucking man, and that same helping hand that you gave the motherfucker will take that same motherfucking hand and turn around and stab you in the back.
But we gotta believe. I feel you, but we gotta believe, because the thing is, man, everybody ain't like that. And it looks like, I think the powers that be want us to continue to view each other like that. That's that division, and it puts us on a defense with each
You know,
other.
Let's
You
keep
get what I'm
it
saying?
100. Let's keep it 100, my baby. The only person that wants fucking division is white people, because at the end of the day, they cannot stand
that
when the
ain't true.
control is
That's
not in
not
their
true.
fucking
Yeah.
hands.
No, I would say the elite. I mean, it don't have nothing because I got some down ass white friends.
I'm
I
not
ain't gonna,
saying
you know
all
what I'm
white
saying?
people.
I got some down, right. I got some down ass white friends. So it's like I feel where you coming from. I feel where you coming from, but I just don't want to do the same thing that has been done to my people and just put them all in the same. You get what I'm saying?
We
You know,
not
put them all
doing
in the
that. We're
same.
not doing that. But it's time to hold accountability.
I
Period.
feel
Flat
you
the
on
fuck
that.
out.
Yeah, I feel you on that too. Absolutely.
They've
I
been
agree.
they've been doing too much.
It's
White people
It's
have been
right
doing.
there.
Please let me say this, because I got into an
Oh,
argument with my brother about this yesterday, because me and my brother are mixed. My father is Mexican and my mother is Irish and Polish. But at the end of the day, like I got into an argument with him about the way other races look at all white people, they look at them all the same. Just because you're German, you're Russian, whatever the case is, they don't give a fuck. They don't look at you like that. You're from the Caucasian fucking mountains. Just like when white people look at Asians, they don't differentiate Asians, Koreans, Filipinos. They don't do that.
Right, they
Just
just
like
say
when a
Asian.
racist white person will say all black people look the fucking same. At the end of the day, there is no excuse for these white people. Hell, they kidnap their own fucking people, the Jews and white people and shit. Like, fuck the white people. It is time to hold them accountable. I'm tired of
No,
this
that
shit.
ain't no, because there's
Hey. But also, I'm not going to do a disclaimer, but we have to hold each other accountable as black people too.
Absolutely. Everybody, it ain't about race, man. I mean, like, now it's because of this history in this country has we haven't properly addressed the ripples. We haven't properly addressed the ripples of the things that this country was founded on, and they want to sweep the race issue under the rug, which I don't want to do. But we can. It ain't gonna fix it to just turn it around and just say, okay, fuck all white people. That's not the fix to it. You get what I'm saying? But what you did say is accountability. That is definitely necessary. Instead of sweeping things under the rug and slavery was a long time ago, get over it. Nah, they do have to take accountability, and I do see. It's not as much as I would wish to see, but I have been seeing white people, who are in that position. And it's like, I'm in this privileged position and I'm going to take accountability. I didn't own no slaves, but I understand that I benefited from that system. And I'm not going to sit here and act like
they understand that.
At the end of the day, racism is still going on politically and everywhere else.
Accountability? Can I ask that question? How was that accountability? By saying I acknowledge that what happened because of our ancestors or whatever, and it's fucked up. But
you say what? You say what now?
Saying that I understand that shit, that's not accountability. Just because you can say that my ancestors.
No, I'm not saying. No. I'm not saying that's that. And it's what accountability is actually listening to the other people and saying, hey, this is how this, because they don't know, they ain't in our shoes. So the first step is to be able to say, is to sit there and receive what we're saying. Like when we say, hold on. When we say, hold on. When we say, go ahead.
It's going to take for the white people's children to get shot down by police. It's going to take for the white people to be scared for their child to leave out the fucking house.
Well, that's what's going on right now.
You guys feel flat out.
That's what's going on right now with this epidemic they have with opioids.
Yeah.
That's what's going on literally like right now. Now it's
but the thing is,
now they want to
get what you put out. It's a vicious cycle. You get what you put out. So what I'm trying to say is, you can't fight hate with hate. You know what I'm saying? You just gonna it's just gonna turn around, and then 100, 200,000 years later, then we gonna be the white people, or we gonna be the people that's doing wrong. You can't, you know what I mean? It's a cycle that you can't, it's like a snake eating its tail. You know what I'm saying? You can't return the same energy to it, or it's gonna keep cycle. The player's going to change. You know what I'm saying?
I understand what you're saying, but at the end of the day, we cannot keep talking. I understand how you say that we should listen and all that. The white people, some white people, the racist ones that stuck in their ways, they don't want to fucking listen. And a lot of them are in the fucking government and are gonna keep controlling to the point where the lesbians and the gay people get more rights than black people got quicker, sooner. The black people had to fight harder for their fucking rights than the fucking gay community. And I'm gay. And I'm gay, and I'm not agreeing with this at all.
No, I told that's 100. That's 100.
And I'm trying to say, we are past the point of fucking
don't be
talking.
That angry gay woman, though.
We are past the point of fucking talking, though. We are to the point where we need action. We need fuck what you can tell me. Actions speak louder than words. And I need more white people to have accountability and actions towards accountability before I can fucking believe the shit.
No, I mean, you gotta realize too.
I'm not even going to do a disclaimer.
They don't even teach us in history, like even during slavery, it was some, white people that was riding and people that died for the same cause because they understood it back then. Now they don't freely give us that information as much as they give us the fuck shit. You know what I'm saying? But it's been all kind of revolts that white people led. During slavery, and then look at the civil rights movement in the 60s. We had allies ever since. Ever since we had, it was white people.
That's just like Juneteenth, but I hate to say that shit, but that's a pacifier too.
It's a lot of pacifiers.
That's what they do. You have a bone, they have a bone. You gonna feel better, nigga. Ain't shit changed now. And this
don't get me,
man.
Don't get me wrong. I'm not minimizing what the Europeans did to this planet. Listen, I'm not minimizing what the Europeans did historically to this entire planet. I'm just saying, what was Einstein that said, if you do the same shit, expect something different, that's insanity, right? All I'm saying is we've been doing the same shit for a long time, and we can't, the rioting, the whatever, it just goes back to the same. It goes back to the same thing. And like Rick said,
even now, the same thing is going on in Palestine that was going on with the Jews. Like the Jews are practically returning the favor, if I could say it like that. I don't know, that sounds wrong, but it's a genocide in itself. And the only reason Jews feel so entitled to Palestine is because Britain promised them that land after
the
Holocaust.
America. Yeah, that's what we that's what we was talking about at the beginning.
Fucking white people.
That's it.
Okay, here we go.
Shit. And they got
somebody got a true story they want to share.
This is actually the segment of. I want to start this off. I'm so excited about this right now.
I'm not going Deborah. We never met in person, right?
No.
And I feel your passion, and I respect what you're saying. But honestly, okay, how fair would it be if I base my judgment by the way you look? Because through the screen, if you wouldn't have told me, I thought you were white. And it don't make no difference whether or not you're white or not. But what if I base my judgment on you based off of your you get what I'm saying? Based off of how you look to me. Because to me, you look like a white person. So I'm not going to just say, oh, white, she white. And so now you just in this section of people just because of how you look to me. That's just as bad as, you know what I'm saying? It's just as bad as what's being done to us.
But
that's all.
White person from a chill white person, right or wrong.
Yeah, no doubt.
You don't know shit about nobody until you get to talking to them.
Until you get to know them, exactly. So basically, I don't want that to be the primary focus point on my judgment or anybody's judgment on anybody.
Most people base information on how they feel about a person off of information they heard about the person without even actually knowing the person. So if all you heard was bad shit about a group of people, you're gonna be like, I hate this motherfucker.
And look,
without even actually knowing them.
And that's how the news does. I mean, look, a lot of people, their only experience of Black people for their entire upbringing was the news, movies, rap videos. That's so their judgment of a whole culture was based on entertainment and news and stuff like that.
And they
so when they go into the world,
consumers as well, like 70%.
But since it's True Story Tuesday, I'm gonna put it like this. The reason I feel so passionate on it too is because my mother's side of the family has been funny acting towards me since day one because of who my father was. And then when I decided to have my mixed child at the age of 15, it wasn't about the age that I got pregnant. It was the fact that my daughter was mixed and I was already on probation. They locked me the fuck up I became a ward of the state and got emancipated at 16 with a fucking newborn. And I still to this day do not talk to my mother's side of the family because I decided to have a black baby. And you know what? Fuck them. I don't care. Because at the end of the day, I'm going to tell you what, I experienced white racism from my own fucking family. When I tell you white people are crucial, and when they cut you out, they cut you out. And that's why I don't play about it. And I can spot a racist person. If you can count on one hand how many black friends you have, you are racist as fuck. I'm sorry, you are.
Listen,
I don't
you ain't like, I'm not
count how many black friends you have.
Listen, I'm not minimizing what you're saying. I feel you. And I mean, I'm not I can't deny that, but what I'm saying is just like what my hope for you is that you don't allow that childhood trauma to keep you bonded to just that scope of things. You get what I'm saying? Because there's a lot outside of that scope of things.
It honestly,
and like I said,
I'll be honest. It has up until about 3 years ago. About 3 years ago, I actually decided to get a couple of white friends, and I still have them to this day. They cool as hell, but that's because they have the same views as me. I'm sorry, I can't sit in a room with somebody that's, you know what I'm saying, from down south, and they think it's all right to just fly around with the N-word and talk crazy to people because their grandparents owned somebody at one point in time. I can't do that.
Respect is due to a dog. You should have respect for everybody because they fellow human beings. But you know what I'm saying? At what level do you cut respect off from a motherfucker? I can't sit here. I'd have been wrong by a lot of white people, but I ain't gonna say that every white person I come across is a bad person.
I've been wrong by my own people. I've been wrong by my own people.
Hey, let me tell y'all this. Let me tell y'all this.
I've been wrong more by my own people than I have with other people because I tend to do more of my people. Yeah, and the reason I just said that, and the reason for that is, who do you deal with more? Your own people.
I was just about to say, just like the so-called black on black thing. That's the same concept. You know, the black on black crime. Yeah, it's gonna be more, black skin on black because you're going. Yeah, that's the same.
But black on black crime don't exist because they're not killing each other for their skin color. They're just killing each other for personal reasons.
That's the point I'm making. It's
not
like
personal.
It's not.
It was bred into them, to us.
Right.
I have a question. I have a statement.
Whoever you're in close proximity to, you're going to have more interactions. Therefore, there's going to be more of whatever in that.
The definition of ghetto. What's the definition? Me? No, the definition.
You said me.
It was a Jewish community.
No, it's a place where poor people are dwelled. But I want to say something before we move on to this next subject.
People, though. It started with the Jewish people. That's where that term came from. Ghetto.
My baby mama white, but if a race war jump off, she's the first person to go.
That's what I was gonna say.
That's ain't Chris Rock. Chris Rock.
I went to all black schools.
Under the bus like that.
Yeah, I went to all black schools, and after we watched Roots, I got jumped. Okay, but that did not change my mind because at the end of the day, hey, it is what it is, and I'm not saying I deserved it. But I took it for what the fuck my ancestors did because at the end of the day, what the fuck they did will never.
As hell too. You didn't do it.
Also, I got jumped too. I got jumped by a pack of wild.
I never said I did.
And my Mel Gibson voice.
I felt like it was something I should have took because that's the least I could do after what the fuck my people did to you.
You know what?
For years on end.
No. You shouldn't feel that though. No. That ain't on you. You got enough.
Yeah,
we all got enough
shit like that. How dumb is that?
We all got enough shit that we got to deal with. It ain't on us to take on other people's shit either. That's not on you.
It ain't upon your fucking body that would have you do that to somebody else. Exactly. So don't accept that shit.
That's not yours. You don't deserve that. You don't at all.
I was very deserve that. Dramatic towards it. Like I was like, oh my God, you know what I'm saying? Like I didn't even want to fight back because at the end of the day, I'm thinking to myself about when they got raped, when their kids got killed and shit like that, when they had to sit there and watch their husbands get beat to death, when they had to sit there and eat their own fucking throw up, for Christ's sake, I deserve ass whooping.
But yeah, that's no. That's not you. Hold on. That's because you have empathy, dear. That's because you have empathy. But it's all about balance. Your empathy has reached a level to where it's turned to shame and guilt. And that shame and guilt is not yours. Even though it's yours, you feel it and it's real, it doesn't belong to you. Because you personally, that's not your fault. But what you're feeling
family too makes it.
I get it. I understand.
No.
Yeah, I understand
That's
that.
just something different that's messed up. That's it.
Right, but
You
don't
didn't deserve
internalize. Hey, sweetheart, listen. Don't internalize that because that'll. Nah. You don't. That's not yours.
That'll
Like
fuck you up on the inside.
like I said, we got enough shit that we got to deal with. That's ours. You know what I'm saying? So don't take on other. You know that. Let that go. You should not feel any guilt for
But the
anything
stuff
that
that
you
you
didn't
guys
do.
have to take on nowadays from everything that's happened in the past, like being
True.
afraid to go to fucking work
True.
because you're afraid to get pulled over, or being afraid to take your kids to the
Right.
fucking park. This shit is
Right.
long-lasting effects. Like
I
slavery,
get
even like when they grabbed all the black people and put them in a fucking town and injected them all with fucking syphilis to try to find a cure. Why the fuck you couldn't round up a whole bunch of white people and do that shit?
Right. Yeah, but you didn't do none of that. And I appreciate the fact that you're very vocal about how you feel. That is definitely helpful. But the thing is,
what you got in that bottle, man?
the people that you need to reach,
1638. Yeah,
and that you can, hey, Deborah, the people that you need to reach and that you could reach quicker than I can because your skin is lighter. The whole like fuck white people is gonna disconnect them from hearing the things that you need to show. You get what I'm saying? You understand where I'm coming
That's
from?
common sense. I understand completely.
You know, so it's like you're an ally. Like your words and your passion can help my people.
You're the one that can
help my
spark the
people.
movement of
Right.
people understanding.
But because of the position that you're in and the understanding that you have, the empathy that you have, but you're going to kill that with they're going to hear fuck white people and they're going to be like, she want to be, they're going to call you going to be a nigger lover and all that shit, and they ain't going to hear you.
I call my baby mama that. She don't like it, but
so in order for you to be effective in this plight, honestly, that's what I'm saying. It's like, you know, everything. Like I tell my cats in the studio, delivery is everything.
Right,
delivery is everything.
It do.
You know what I'm saying?
You can say, hey, you can be rapping, you can say some dope ass shit, but if you just sound like you just reading some shit off paper, like,
it ain't nothing. You can be saying some profound life changing shit, but if the delivery ain't there, it ain't there. It ain't gonna get nowhere. You know.
Yeah.
So that's all I'm saying. I'm not minimizing nothing you saying. I'm just, you know.
Okay, it's 9 o'clock right now. We're running over. I want to go on to the next True Story Tuesday. True Story Tuesday. I'm gonna start it off. I'm gonna kick it off right, and I got a witness right here on this panel with me. Ray, you remember when we watched somebody? I'm not gonna say a name, but take a gun and shoot somebody multiple times, and we thought that it had caps in it.
Yes, I do remember that. And
we thought it was a cap gun, and
I remember him running towards me, and I'm like, "Nigga, don't run to me!" You know, he getting shot at.
He got unloaded in. Like we thought he kept running, like wasn't no bullets hitting him.
And he actually got shot 5 times too. I thought it was blanks.
Yeah, we thought it was blanks. Like,
he survived.
Yeah. He survived.
He got shot. It was all non-vital. He got shot like in both arms, like in the back, like right here, his legs, and but it wasn't nothing. It didn't hit nothing vital. He survived.
And then the thing is, though, we was like, oh yeah, man, it was caps or whatever.
It must have been blanks.
We seen an ambulance pull up, and then this motherfucker laying in the back. I swear he had a cigarette lit, like, ooh,
hey, because you see, look,
here.
What tripped me out is like, okay, when dude fell, and dude stood over top of him, and he popped him a couple times, and then he got back up, and then both of them, you know, this is back in the day, both of them pants sagging, so they was running, holding one hand, you know, with holding their pants, and the dude, this is how it was. They start running, this dude getting shot, and they both running, but it just turned like that. Like, dude,
he's like, he ain't shot, ain't a bullet in him. He was hauling ass.
His adrenaline kicked in, and he turned into Jesse Owens on that motherfucker.
And then come to say, like, True Story Tuesday, another thing, that story is not ended. That same person that shot that person murdered 3 more people, and including as a suspect, he was a suspect in a murder of our family member too, as well.
Yeah.
And also he shot. I want to say this. He murdered his own family members. He murdered somebody at a New Year's Eve party.
That definitely sounds
this is Ben Harbor. This is in Ben Harbor.
I actually saw the aftermath after one, when the person was on the ground. They grabbed the police officer ankle, as in like, help me. Police officer kicked their fucking hand, like, fucking grab me.
Like, boy, get the fuck off me. Oh my God, that's terrible.
Yeah, and that's and it's a lot of stories to go with that. But yeah, he's
Hey, what you cooking?
Fajitas.
Making tacos and quesadillas and stuff.
Ooh. Hey, I heard if you don't that top part of the onion, if you don't fuck with that, it won't make you cry.
I'm not crying.
You know. Okay, that's just something I just learned.
Yeah, don't jinx me. Yeah, I mean, I'm not about to eat the skin.
Anybody else got a story?
I got plenty. I don't know what kind of story you want me to tell.
It's a true story too.
I got a whole
something
bunch
that
of stories.
Somebody might not know or something.
I remember my first major artist that I opened up for. I almost fell off the stage. This was like I never did a show this caliber, and I was nervous, and I was the first act, and so I'm on stage and I'm worried about forgetting my lyrics, and I'm doing my little thing. I'm running around the stage rapping, and I remember when I was little, somebody told me if you ever nervous on stage, stare at like a spot over the crowd, like in the back or something. So that's what I did, but my dumb ass chose to stare at the lights.
Oh, you fucking dumbass.
So okay, so I'm looking at these lights back here, and then they flashing, and so I'm looking at the lights, and I go to this side of the stage, they flashing, and then I go to this side of the stage, and I look at these other flashing lights. I go to the middle, and they coming from both sides, and then I'm thinking, why the fuck am I looking at these lights, right? And so I'm just doing my thing. I'm in my zone, and then I step forward, like kind of jog forward a little bit, and one of my steps, I look down, and it wasn't no stage under my feet. You know what I'm saying? So I just happened to notice right when my left foot was still on the stage and my right foot was in the air. That very second I realized, like, oh shit. And so I just hopped and I jumped into the crowd. And they was like, they thought that was dope. They didn't know that I almost stayed like, you know what I mean? So I walked my happy ass back up on stage and finished the show. So yeah, that's one of my stories.
That'd be the worst fall, man. That's why artists, you have to be in shape and stuff like that, because you got to be able to jump right back up.
They're not gonna catch you if you fat.
Hey, that was your mom was at that concert. That was the Spice
I remember.
One
she was like, "Oh, nephew!" Like, yeah, God rest her soul, though. Yeah.
Yeah.
Anybody else got a true story Tuesday? A true story. I'll tell another one if y'all want.
I don't even know what to say. Like, I have so many stories.
I know.
I don't know which one would be.
I have a story. Okay, I'm gonna tell another one. My aunt had lived on Territorial in Ben Harbor. And if anybody know anything about Ben Harbor, there's a lot of unsolved murders there. This was one of the cold cases that got reopened and found out. It was a spot in the basement where it was like an orange, like a rusty type stain on the cement. We were just like, oh, maybe, like some metal or something sitting there or something like that. Someone got a tip or a lead to unsolved murder. I'm not gonna say any names, but they went and actually opened the case, and they actually had a, what do you call those? When you warrant to. They found a murder weapon in her basement, and they also sprayed that stuff from crime scenes, luminol.
Oh yeah.
And it works just like the movies does. She was actually murdered in that basement and taken and disposed of. And we were in the basement chilling with the murder weapon, kicking it and shit, like wasn't shit else going on.
Oh, that's wow. Yeah, that's crazy.
And then
I ain't got too many. Well, I tell you
hanging around some weird motherfuckers.
That's crazy.
Yeah,
Ben Harbor is a whole nother.
That's a whole nother. It's in Michigan, but it's a whole nother. Like, I saw the worst shit.
I got one.
Go ahead.
I got one. Dooley.
Go ahead, Dave.
I was a little girl on Easter, and I was running around. I had got to lead a block, and I was just wandering around chasing my little cat. And this man that we grew up knowing on the corner got me to come over with the cat and everything. He said he had cat food. My little goofy ass, trusting ass went over there, not thinking nothing until after I got up in this man's house. But all he wanted to do was pick me up and stand in the mirror. He was like a gay dude or something. I don't know what it was, but he didn't do nothing to me. He just picked me up, and I had my little pretty Easter dress on. Then I heard my mom call him, and he was standing in the mirror, and he put me down. And he gave me cat food. So, a couple weeks later, police and
Hey,
shit.
don't do that shit no more.
I was little. I got a whooping for it. All that shit.
My fucking chest is pounding right now. Don't.
You lucky you ain't got
Cat food.
Yeah, I
he
got
was staring there like, oh, this my baby. Or was he like,
you know, she was like, you at that motherfucker house? He cussed me out and whooped me. But later on, a couple weeks later, this man kills his mama with a car bumper. He rips off the bumper part and beats his mama to death with it.
Oh, that's wow.
Yeah, he had snapped.
A car bumper?
Yeah, I don't know what the fuck piece he took off, but he beat her to death. His name was Michael McDonald.
Hey, don't say nobody's names on this. That's a disclaimer.
Yeah.
Allegedly. But yeah,
Allegedly, huh?
Yeah, allegedly. Yeah, that was some tripped out shit. Like we was always scared. And we always used to think we see that old lady shadow in that window because she used to always be kind of like Alfred Hitchcock. What's that one where dude had his crazy ass mama in the house?
Yeah, Psycho.
Yeah, Psycho.
Well, yeah.
Like that, but like the little Black Hood version of it. But dude,
hey, check this. Oh, go ahead. My bad.
I'm sorry. No, it's just describing dude. He was just weird, but he had every indication of a serial killer, but he was black. But he was just crazy.
Every time
we had serial killers in Toledo. We had
Actually, y'all had that couple that was serial killers that was killing people.
Yeah,
out to Coleman, and one of them just got out of prison a couple years ago. The Cook brothers.
Yeah. I saw that. Yep. And then we had the co-ed killer around here. Co-ed killer around this area. You remember that, Earl? Yeah. Like it was somebody like working in Ann Arbor and shit, killing normal everyday people, and they could not find him for shit.
Now listen, my wife grew up around the corner from me. And there was a story going around with her and her circle. That was this mean old man that lived around the corner, and everybody was scared of him. And they knew he had pistols, and he was he's just this mean old black dude that lived in this mostly white Mexican neighborhood. And they said somehow, I forget the story that they said how he died, but they said he had 2 Dobermans and they ate his body in the house, right?
Oh, damn.
Now check this out. This story is partially true because years after we met and got married and stuff, the story was it was actually my great uncle, and he did die in the house, and the dog was eaten off of him because he wasn't found right away. But of course, their version was super embellished. You get what I'm saying?
Right.
But it turned out it was Uncle Bully.
Like kids hyping some stuff up.
Right. It was Uncle Bully they was talking about. But Uncle Bully passed. He passed in the house. At a ripe. I mean, he lived a long life. He was in his 70s, but he had a heart attack, and he was there for a couple of days before we discovered it.
Started eating them because
yeah.
Food.
Mm-hmm.
Dogs ain't shit.
Man, I mean,
cats ain't either though. Shit.
Yeah. It was hungry.
Right.
Imagine something like meow eating you. Like what the fuck? Not raw. I want somebody at roof for raw.
I know I'm wrong. I know I'm wrong, but like my friends used to, because I remember going in the house, and there was a part of the house in the living room, part of the floor. It was all hardwood floor. We had he decomposed so bad that it went to seep through the floor. So we had to cut that part of the floor out and replace the wood, like all the way through So so when people come over, they heard the story and stuff. So I'm in high school and stuff, and they come in, and they was like, "Oh, this was your Uncle Bully's house," because my mom inherited the house, and he was an old like gangster back in the day, like bootlegging liquor, running numbers and shit. He was that dude, But so they heard the story, and a lot of times while people they asking about it, and they standing right on that spot.
Oh.
And I'm like, yeah, that's where he died right there, They be like,
step up.
Oh shit.
Oh,
hey, Abdul, I'm sure you done stood on that spot without even knowing it plenty of times, man.
I sat there.
He walked around naturally. reality now.
I sat there, but I didn't say nothing. I was wondering. I never knew where it was, so I was just sitting there talking to your mom and stuff.
Right.
Yeah, like I wonder what about this? Was it this spot? Was it that spot?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, man, that was something else. Something else.
But yeah, I got a hell of a lot of stories. All of them involving death, though. I mean,
Oh man.
I was like, yeah, can we get away from death?
I know, seeing with my own eyes, though, I have a different outlook than most, though. Like, I mean, because that's all you have left, though. Like, I mean, if you don't change what you're doing in anything and live a certain way, that's what's left for you. And when you see certain things like that, you behave a certain way. That's why I don't understand, like, people out here in the street acting hard with guns and this and that. I've seen the damage it does one-on-one with things like that. Like, you can't tell me shit.
Man,
I'm gonna stay me. I'm gonna take my ass to work. And
I ain't seen this shit before. Niggas be out here straight killers in the street, then get locked up and don't want to fight nobody.
Right.
Yeah, man, I done seen the word. I done seen somebody shoot themselves in the fucking head. You know, and then and it was funny because y'all remember About It first
funny.
Funny.
What was funny about that?
I'm trying to blow her head off.
Nothing funny about that.
Hey, y'all remember when About It first came out on VHS?
Hell yeah.
They got banned from. So we sat around. We were sitting there. We're like, oh, we're gonna watch this. It was somebody, not saying any names or anything, but they were playing Russian roulette. So they kept spinning the chamber, and it popped. And he was laughing like when we was doing it. We was just looking like, oh shit.
What?
We heard a pop, and he still was like, ha 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 ha. He had braids, and it's not funny at all, but smoke was coming out of his braids and shit.
Oh, that's
gun and shit. Why the fuck are you laughing, Earl?
Oh, you said his brains came out? His braids?
No, he actually.
Okay. Anybody else got another? Anybody got another story?
All right, we gonna
another story.
You know what, Earl?
This is dark.
Smoke coming up.
Dude, he turned into a cartoon.
Last year, this is so embarrassing, but I'll tell y'all the truth. I was taking stupid ass for a walk, and I swear to God, he saw a squirrel and drugged me by like half the block. When I tell you I'm on the ground and he is dragging me down the street, and I pray to God that somebody was watching it, and I pray to God it made somebody's day and I made him laugh, because in my head I was like, what the fuck is going on? I'm being dragged over a squirrel right now.
He was like, squirrel. It was on there popping like, squirrel.
Yeah, it was really like Secret Life of Pet. Squirrel. And then he just like, you say it now. Watch. Squirrel. Yep.
Right.
He's trying to get off.
Look at it.
He's trying to get off the wire. Huh?
How old is he?
6.
6. I love.
You're not gonna get off of it.
I done had a lot of pits. That's a beautiful one too.
Thank you. You're not gonna get off of it.
This was a great episode. I'm sorry, y'all. I'll try to bring something more
No, you good, man.
more happy to.
Come on.
Man,
Who you going at? Who you talking to? Drop it.
Yeah, I mean that would seem
You going to hell,
accurate.
nigga.
No, I'm describing. No, listen. I'm describing.
Let it go.
I'm describing. I was
Let it
describing.
go.
Anybody with a smirk on their fucking face right now, y'all ain't shit.
No, you did that, man. You did that. You can't.
I'm not
You
trying
take-
to be funny.
And I wasn't, and I'm still not.
But smoke,
Let it go.
was coming from this nigga brain.
Right,
Nigga, that
right.
was funny, nigga.
Hey,
I'm
shut the
crying,
fuck up.
Who are you growling at?
Man.
Get your ass down.
Listen,
I'll
I
tell
was
y'all.
trying to be accurate with it though. I mean, they lived and everything though. But
Oh, they did live.
They lived, yeah.
Okay, well that makes it a little better.
But it
To
was
deal
like,
with.
how do y'all think that would look though? Like, I mean, come on now.
Brains
We've already pictured that in our head from your description.
That nigga blood for car rounds.
That's like a Daffy Duck episode or something. You know what I'm saying? Did he have a beak turned around in the back?
It was actually like they shut down the whole street and everything, and it was That's a long story. I'm not gonna keep. You know, I'll find something more positive to talk about.
Yeah, I'm interested.
Well, it's a long story to that too because a lot of stuff happened after that.
Oh.
So you know when something happened in the community, the story get twisted and all type of other stuff be said too, like, somebody else did it, robbed them, and da 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 da. But no, that's the way it happened. Honestly.
So what y'all playing Russian roulette?
Say what?
Was y'all playing?
Hell no.
Who was
You
playing?
telling?
The dude that shot his fucking self.
He was playing by himself?
By his damn self. And he wasn't right and ain't been right since. I'll tell y'all that.
Hey man, this shit totally off subject. But let me ask y'all a question, right? Okay, so I'm pretty sure we all in agreement that motherfucking pedophilia is wrong and shit. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Absolutely.
If a 15-year-old chick fuck a 30-year-old man, not get raped, she know this motherfucker 30 and she know he's
It's still rape.
motherfucker old
It's still rape.
fucking with her. Not even yell rape, but just want to turn around and say you a victim. But you open your legs for a 30-year-old man, you know you shouldn't have been fucking with. Now the 30-year-old wrong the motherfucker. Keep on
Point blank.
fucking with that little bitch.
Point blank.
Point blank, period. But what you can't do is say you a victim and at the age of 15 you know right from wrong.
Okay, but at
they should have parents.
You're still naive. You still don't have all that stuff
exactly.
in your head that's
Everybody
totally
naive.
wrong.
This motherfucker that's 15,
You just
40
15,
years
you
old
think
that's
you
naive.
grown, like
You know
in the
right
moment
from
you
wrong.
think you grown type shit.
Yeah.
But you know you ain't grown. In the moment you can't see it. Well, in the moment I thought that I was old enough to fuck with a 30-year-old.
As soon as you get the
Let me put like this.
All the accountability is on that adult at that point.
Right.
That's what it comes down to.
That shit's
Now the thing is, I get what you're saying as far as 15, like, you know, they might have made fucked up decisions or whatever, but in that incident, the accountability has to go on it.
But let's be real. This is one thing that I can't stand, because when the Mexicans straight from the border come over here and shit like that, and they be in the mall looking at younger females, and people be like, "Oh, you're a pedophile." In my culture, a girl becomes a grown woman at the age of 15 at her quinceañera.
And a lot of
But
cultures,
here, hold on. If we go back to biblical days, they were having babies as soon as a child could be deflowered.
Yeah.
And they weren't pedophiles back then.
You have your period.
I'm not saying I agree with it, because
even in my parents' generation.
I have a 15-year-old girl myself, and if a 30-year-old man wants to put hands on her, I kill him.
That shit come down to accountability, because if a 15-year-old kill a grown-ass adult or kill another 15-year-old
they're going to prison.
Exactly, because you know right from wrong.
Exactly.
Right now, what if this 15-year-old was fucking on a 30-year-old, but his 30-year-old mental capacity was the age of 9?
The 15-year-old needs to be held accountable too.
You know what I'm saying? Like, motherfuckers know right from wrong for a fucking reason. I ain't saying that a 15-year-old can make sound decisions as the motherfucker that's 30, 40 plus years old, because they probably not. But this motherfuckers at 30 and 40 ain't gonna make no sound ass decisions neither. But at the end of the day, man, this motherfuckers always out here screaming about they fucked up or fucked over when they knew right from wrong. You chose to make a decision. So let's just say this motherfucking 30-year-old and this 50-year-old on some weird shit is in motherfucking love, but the 50-year-old get caught and get in trouble. Now she want to scream rape. I mean, granted, that 30-year-old know the consequences.
But that 30-year-old
whether it was
should have
rape
made
or not,
he should know the consequences of that shit. He should know the consequences of that shit off top, because you ain't got no business fucking with no young ass bitch like that.
Out the gate, yep.
Off top, but man, you're not gonna sit here. Don't call yourself a victim when you was doing something willingly. Nobody talked you into.
I get where you coming from. but yeah, I get where you
could be a victim and not even realize you're a victim. You know what I mean?
True.
No, there are girls that are straight victims, and then there's girls that watch shit like Cardi B and want to be fast and live that fucking life, and then when shit like that happens, they want to cry fucking rape. Just like when a motherfucker hop off the porch, knowing he ain't got no business hopping off the porch, now he gets shot, and it's, oh my fucking God, and this, that, and the third. You should have stayed your ass on the porch where you fucking belong. Period.
Yeah.
Do you know right from wrong, man? You can't sit here and scream rape when you willingly did that shit. Like it's
because let's go to the Satoya Brown case. Satoya Brown, she was 14 years old and was caught having sex and killed that fucking man man and even admitted that she was a prostitute and still got sent to fucking prison for murder. Let's be
Wow.
100.
And then she went on and married a member of B2K and everything and rode off into the sunset.
Wow.
And now
what?
she's pregnant.
I really don't be
She
playing.
had her baby?
Dude,
She didn't marry that
No,
nigga.
she was dated or something. They was something.
She was messing with one of them one gay chicks. What's them bitches that was with Biggie Smalls?
No, it was
Total. She was messing with one of Total's ex-husband.
I thought them was dudes. at first.
No, but yeah, that's what happened after that though, and it was a crash.
She married that one of their husbands. One of her husbands.
She actually made it out of jail though.
She out. She done wrote a book. She famous now.
Mm-hmm.
That bitch got money now.
Yeah, but she
That's
did
what I
that
can't-
15 years.
So,
She didn't get out.
This is what I can't. This is what I can't stand.
Made the greatest point when he said this shit. How old is 15 really when he was talking about that R. Kelly case? Because at what point do you hold a motherfucker accountable for the shit that they chose to do?
Like she could have moved out the way, huh?
Yeah.
Y'all are fucking retarded.
Hey, I ain't say that.
Like, if I ain't want to get pissed off, I'm gonna get out the way. I'm just saying.
Get out the way.
Hey, that's what Riley said on the Boondock. Ain't that what Riley said on
Right,
Boondock?
yeah.
He said, I see some shit coming. I'm gonna move, goddamn.
Hey, but
Yeah,
they
evidence.
said something.
Yes,
They
my name
said
is
something
Robert.
earlier.
Robert Kelly. Yes, and my social security number is.
They said something. Was it Day or D? Is it Day?
Huh?
Is it Day or D?
Gay?
Day. Now you said something about somebody got famous behind all of that. That's what I'm tired of too. It's like now you can get famous for doing some of the most stupidest shit. Like,
Yeah.
or you can be famous like the whole reality TV thing is like, you know, their accolades are being married to somebody that's famous. So now you deserve attention and a show just because you know, housewives, just being married to somebody that's about
The
something.
Gorilla Glue.
Like, why do they deserve attention? Just because you married a good person? Like, why does the show need to be, revolve around that shit? You know what I'm saying? Or like people just doing stupid shit on the internet and going viral and
Like
getting
that
famous
Gorilla
because of shit
Glue
like that.
lady.
Too.
Oh my god.
She got her own. She got her own line of
She
shit
got her
now.
own hair care line now.
Hair
She
care
done made some fucking or something.
I
Hey,
can't imagine that doing well.
She
Hey,
got her
listen.
own shit, and
I can't imagine.
Products.
Can
She got
y'all
a hair
imagine
care
that?
line.
Can
Hey.
y'all imagine that product being like successful? Like, who gonna buy some shit that a
Everybody.
person?
Everybody. Actually, she got money now.
You done glued your shit. And I'm gonna use your shit. No. You know what I mean? Like,
You ain't using
why?
Gorilla Glue.
Why?
Hey, but I'm gonna have to
Yeah.
let this episode end. It kind of ran over. I gotta upload it and everything. It's been a good one, man.
It was nice seeing y'all. I know I've been MIA for a minute, man. It was nice chopping it up with y'all.
Yeah, ain't Tuesday. You're not working. You're welcome. You're welcome to be
Hey,
on.
y'all Michigan people, man. Y'all missed a good show this weekend, and we got another one in the same place next month. Y'all should come down and check it out. It's an outside venue. It's called a night market, and they got like these. It's an old farmers market, and they got all of these vendors out there, food, and they were selling anything you can name, you can think of, and then it's live music. We played for 5 hours, live music. It's like $5 to get in, and it was dope. But we doing it again next month. Y'all should come down and check it out.
Where is it?
It's downtown Toledo in the farmers market.
That's what's up. That's not too far.
Yeah, y'all come check it out. I'll keep y'all posted.
What's
that?
I said, I'm thinking you talking about Michigan the whole time.
Oh, it's in Toledo. The farmers, Erie Street Market.
Yeah.
Erie Street Market. Yeah, we played down there Saturday. We playing down there next month too. They booking us again. So.
Down there.
What's that?
I said, I ain't even but like 2 minutes down there.
You ain't hear nothing Saturday?
You know what?
We said
Fireworks and shit. It was a bunch of shit.
Yeah. If you heard a band, it was us. You heard music, it was us.
Mm.
Yeah.
All right, y'all.
But yeah, I'm gonna get on. I'll see y'all next time.
Yeah, I'm about to have my second dinner. You know how that goes.
second dinner.
Upload
Still
this.
making the first.
And then I'll send everybody this. Make sure y'all share, watch, enjoy.
Yeah.
And it's been real. And
Yeah.
deuces.
Peace.
Peace out.